what is real and why does it matter?
Well, I mean, dude, the answer to that question is super deep. You mentioned Robert Anton Wilson. Have you read The Cosmic Trigger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good intro into the nature of reality being only a mental construct. It's a 3D projected hologram developed by our brain based on data input to our sensory organs filtered through our thalamus, which is the eye of Horus, sent out to other areas of the brain that make a composite based on your sensory perceptual abilities neurologically, and a composite of the emotional experiences that you've had in the past and your limbic system, and then your neocortex and your limbic system team up together and create a three-dimensional hologram that has an emotional attachment to it simultaneously in real time. So what is real? Nothing. I mean,
right,
what does the word real
right
mean?
there. Yeah, what's reality? And then you just throwing it down like that. Yeah, dude. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimate truth. There are very few things that I experience or know to be like an ultimate truth, or especially a self-evident truth. Like, for example, the experience elicited by 5-MeO DMT is a self-evident truth, which is very rare, almost impossible to find through the use of language, but very rare to have even experientially. And that experience in particular to me is a self-evident truth. There's no need for visual context like there is in the case of regular NN-DMT, and the notion that we all emanate from this one source signal of consciousness is absolutely given to you as a self-evident truth. But anyway, the fact that we generate reality in the way that I just described is an ultimate truth. That's what's happening. As Robert Anton Wilson said, we see things as solid, but science only finds webs of dancing energy. Like, that's literally the case. And as we get more and more deep into quantum mechanics, shit just gets weirder and weirder and makes no sense. Was one of the first, I can't remember his name, but he said, if you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. I love that quote, because it's like, shit is so weird, dude. And nothing exists as we perceive it, right? This is all data points. That's why it's impossible. Like, we are literally slaves to our perceptual organs, to the design of our perceptual organs. For example, it is written in our DNA that our ears will only respond to frequencies from about 10 hertz to 20 kilohertz, right? That's embedded in our code. It's not all that's possible. It's embedded in our DNA. It is therefore part of the human condition, the limitations that design this sphere of reality for humans, right, on this planet. That's part of it. Our eyes can only see from red to violet, the spectrum that we call visible light, which is the tiniest sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum in which we are embedded in. There's so many electromagnetic waves that are happening at different frequencies that we simply don't see, right? I mean, there's Wi-Fi beaming through in front of my face right now. And but yeah, and these are part of the limitations. Majority of dolphins communication happens in the range of like 200,000 hertz, like 200 kilohertz. Like, we can't even begin to conceive how they're transmitting information. We know them to be unbelievably intelligent, so they're communicating on much deeper than some kind of surface level, right? And like, it's just crazy. I've always wanted to see through the eyes of a bee or an insect that we know can perceive ultraviolet radiation, because like, what's that like? We'll never know. Like, that's one thing we will never know. I can't even know if orange to me looks like it does to you.
Right.
We can agree, we can come to consensus that we're both looking at orange because that's been orange our whole lives. But I cannot communicate experientially what the color orange is. These are the direct effects of the fact that we are creating this reality within our brains, based on the data around us. The data may be objective, maybe, but our experience of it is totally subjective.